Hello Stamper, welcome to Francie's video. I'm France Martin, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. And today I'm going to show you how to do a vintage masculine card, or it could be a Christmas card like this one I put Merry Christmas. But today we're going to switch it to Happy Birthday. I learned this from one of my team member, Barb. It was something similar to that. And then I'm going to have another video to show you a different one to that I came up with. I absolutely love vintage, and this truck, it's perfect for this. So the stamp set we're going to be using going to be the Country Living on page 131. So that is the truck. And then the Merry Christmas, we won't use that today, but the Merry Christmas here, I thought I needed a long one, and the perfect one that I find was in the snow place. But like I said, today we're going to switch that to a Happy Birthday, so we're going to use Feather Together on page 108. And we're going to use the oldest but the greatest, I think, stamp set in the catalog. That's Lovely as a Tree, so we're going to use this here. Before you get started, one thing that you're going to have to do, I love to use Post-it note. I get bigger Post-it note. It's stamp the truck on a Post-it note, or it can be copy paper. It's just you don't want it to move, and you're going to cut it out. It's called masking. So you can say I use it many times. So what I do with this, it's when I'm done with my cards, I put it inside my case, so when I need to do that technique, or if I want to mask that again, I don't have to cut one every time. I use it over and over and over. So it's many steps in this, so we're gonna I prepare some. So the white cardstock measure 5.5 by 8.5. We're going to fold this in two. Oops, I know I got a bone folder right here. We're going to fold this in two. So again, it's 5.5 by 8.5. And now I get a new thing for you to find all the measurement in that. If you look at the top of the video on the right corner, you're going to see a little circle with an eye. If you click on that, you're going to see my blog, and that's going to bring you right at the blog of this card, and you're going to get all the measurement and all the product list that I'm using. So we got this one, and then the next one, it's soft suede, and I just wanted a little border. So this is going to be 5 1/8 by 3. No, I'm sorry, 5 1/4 by 4. So again, soft suede, 5 1/4 by 4, and we're gonna mount that right away. Because the next step, I don't think we're going to be able to mount it in the video because it won't be dry. So we're going to mount that right there, so we're ready for the next step. Now the next one, that's the one I just wanted a little border. This one, it's crumb cake. It measures 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. Now we're going to start with this one. I'm going to use StazOn ink. And we're going to stamp this, and make sure that your stamp is very well inked. So sometimes it's easier for me to leave the stamp down and bring my StazOn to it. I can really press it harder this way. Make sure I get all ink. You want all those details very well. Now I'm going to stamp my truck right here. Give a good impression. Voila, it's very bright, perfect. Now the next step we're going to do, we're going to take our truck here. We're going to cover this, and sometimes I like to do it after it's painted, but for the video I'm going to do it before. We're going to use, I need a scrap paper to go under. We're going to use the Lovely as a Tree. I call this the naked trees because it don't have really leaf or nothing. It's perfect for the winter scene. We're going to use soft suede. And I'm going to ink this good here. So now you see the truck, it's covered, so it won't matter. you want to give a good impression to try to go as close as you can to the edge there. Sometimes if it's not just right, you can add a marker and finish your line. I'm going to ink this again. Put it right there. And the reason why I didn't stamp one and stamp again, it's because I'm off a bit and it don't give the right impression. So the next step, I'm going to ink, stamp off, and then come back. And I try to mix that so it's not all the same three together. Now again, I'm going to come here, stamp off, and then come here. Voila. So now I look like I get that forest looking. See? It go all perfect around the three. Now, we won't stamp the happy birthday now because we got some work to do first. First thing you want to do is take the soft suede again, and you can take a few re-inker drop there. I'm using aqua painter with water. Some people use with alcohol. For this one, I like with water. So you have to be careful because this is not watercolor paper. It's just regular cardstock. I'm opening up a chocolate chip. The chocolate chip going to be just for the wood on the truck there. So what I do, I'm going to need to grab my rag. What I do is just go on the side here. Make sure the brush is wet, you know. Not too much water. I'm going to come on the side and swirl this a little bit. And I'm going to come here and do the wood. When it's dry lighter. So remember that you can always come back and add more. Here we go. So now I get my wood right there. Now we're going to do all the truck with soft suede. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to... And sometimes you want to wet your paper a little bit so you won't have those lines there. But I'm going to fix this here. I'm going to put it darker here. Here we go. And everything, it's all in the same color. So that's what makes it very vintage. I like I said, wet this a little bit. And that's going to get your brushed slide better. It's just that you don't want to put too much water because that's going to put a hole in your paper. It's going to go right through it and leave kind of a hole. And then one thing you don't want to color, it is your window. Leave the window just the way they are. And you see, I would color the whole thing. Make sure that you mix this good here. Here we go. And when it dry, you're going to see it dry, and it's a lot lighter when it dry. If it go a bit in the window like this, what you're going to do is take your brush without nothing and push it out a bit. Here we go. And then again over here. So now you get the clue out to color this. And you can come back and add more color after it dry. Let's say that some spot it's too light. Well, you can come back. It's easier to add color than take color on a regular piece of paper. And don't forget the wheel back here. You get a wheel under there. So after it would be all color, you would have to let it dry. So to process the thing, here we go. So we're going to leave this here. And right now you see it look all marbleized and very not the best. Wait, at the end I'm going to show it to you and you're going to see it's going to smooth. Now, here it is all done. Well, I could have done the trees just on this one. I'm going to restamp the trees because we need the trees stamped before we can do the next step. So again, the trees are in soft suede. I'm going to cover my truck. Make sure. Here we go. So I'm going to stamp ink. Stamp, give a good impression. Lift and stamp again. And now stamp off. And the reason why I stamp off and come back, it looked like dimension, like it's going deeper in the wood. Here we go. So now we got this done. Now we can remove this. Now what you're going to need, it's your white ink pad, the craft white. And you're going to put some re-inker in there. Now you're going to take a brush. I got a fine brush here. You're going to take the brush and you're going to add where you want. If you see, I add like where the snow went all on the truck. So I first we can do like the ground here. And this again, when it dry, it's going to go lighter. So I like to do the ground first. And you can take a sponge too and sponge some, but I really just mix this a bit. So just show that I get like drift snow here. And that's what take a long time to dry because it's craft ink and it don't dry that quick. So you would have to let all that dry before you can put your greeting. It's just marbleized, really. It's no right and wrong. It's just add a little bit of that drift snow, put it that way. Okay, after I get a bit of the ground done, I try to go in the same direction. You saw that there. Now, I'm going to go, I like to start where the wheels are, and I put a good layer there. It's like he's stuck in the snow. And then the back wheel. Down a little bit in the hubcap, right here on the side, where the snow would ink, on the top of the little box there. Top of the wheel. And then you can put a little bit right here on the top. And then on the mirror, right here, on the top. So where do you think that, you know, the snow would stay there? The car, it's not moving. The car, it's stuck in the snow there. On top of the light, right here on the bumper. Bit in the wheel. So now you would leave that dry, and you can tell right now, as it dry, it get very light. So you're going to have to let it dry and come back a few times. Here we go. And then, oops, a little bit on the top here. So now you get a good clue of that work. Then for the trees, what I done, just because I want it very small, I'm using a toothpick. And I'm just using the craft ink here. And I'm just adding where the branch is together, you know, where the snow with ink there. I'm just adding a little bit of white. That is it, my friend. The only thing that, like I said, that it's time consuming, it's to let it dry. And if you get the patience to let it dry, well, then you're going to have a beautiful piece of art, put it that way. So I would add just in the trees a little bit. I think you can see that good. And now here it is, all done. So this one, when this one is dry, I'm going to have the happy birthday from the Feather Together at the bottom. But before I can do that, though, I have to let the white dry completely, and then it's going to get mounted right here on my crumb cake. This is it, how to do a vintage winter scene. Hope you enjoyed that. And again, for all your Stampin' Up product and the supplies list and measurement. Right there at the top, you're going to see the hi. Click on that. It's going to bring you right to my blog on the blog post. Thank you so much and have a lovely day, my friends.